D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So, I went and seen Frozen 2 early on Friday, and I was going to do my review earlier than this, but I didn't have time and everything. So, getting into it now. So, I went to, so I didn't like Frozen 1. I didn't think it was a good movie. I didn't like it. So, but I really liked Let It Go. I thought that song was so good, and it still is good and everything. So, I still do like that song, but the rest of the movie is complete trash, in my opinion. However, I went and seen this movie, and I was excited to see it. I took my family to the movie theater, we got our popcorn, we got some candies, sat down, was ready to enjoy it and everything, and I was excited and all that stuff. Sat down, started watching the movie, and as the movie progressed, I realized that this movie was hot garbage. Oh my goodness, this movie is all over the place. I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit, and everybody's all like, it's better than the first, and I'm all like, it's worse than the first. I'm sorry. Can't deal with it. And it really bummed me out because I really wanted to like this movie. Like, I was so bummed by the end that I didn't like the movie. I was all like, I can't believe I didn't like this movie. I thought I was gonna love this movie, and I didn't. I tried so hard. I even tried to convince myself that I liked the movie, but I just kept thinking about it. I was like, no, I don't like the movie. I don't like the movie at all. So I'm just gonna go into this. I'm trying to keep this minimal and everything because I'm pretty sure I've already angered most people and everything. I'm pretty sure I am the unpopular opinion, but I just didn't like this movie. So let's start off. So this movie starts off with some past, and we talk to the king and queen, and they tell the girls this story about the king's father, King Agnar tells about his father, King Renard. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Anyways, so they talk about how they go up north to this enchanted forest and everything, and they meet the Northundral, the Northundra people, and they're very they're Native American like and everything, which we'll talk about all of the characters in just a second. So they go up north into that land, and they meet them, and they realize that they're in tune with nature, and there's these spirits that, you know, help them and everything. They move them across water, all this good stuff and everything. And then fighting breaks out, and the Northundral blame the people from Arendelle. Arendelle people blame the Northundral people, and there's no like clear thing and everything. And the king is saved by a little girl, and you find out that that's their mother, Queen. I can't remember her name. The queen, anyways. So their mother, and you find out she's a Northundral person, and you'll find out that later, which is so confusing because if that's the case, then they're mixed race, and they don't look mixed race at all. They're totally white girls. So anyways, so then the battle starts getting on, and the King Renard dies, and then Prince Agnar becomes king. And he's saved by the little girl, which you don't know the little girl is their mother until later on. So then this movie takes place 3 years after the first movie, and Queen Elsa, she's all ruling and everything, but she feels like this isn't, like, she doesn't belong here and everything. So, and then Kristoff, he wants to propose to Anna, but he's like, we're looking for the right moment. We'll talk about that in just a second, because when we get to the characters, I'm going to explain why why every little detail is stupid. I'm just going through the movie and everything right now. So then Elsa hears this siren call. She hears it throughout, and that's where you get into the unknown, which we'll talk about the music after we talk about the characters in just 1 second. So she sings Into the Unknown, and they decide, the trolls come because the elements all attack Arendelle, and they get all the people out of Arendelle. And then the trolls come, and they're like, you have to go up north and figure out what the truth is, and that'll set it free and everything, and it'll fix everything. So they go up north. So then they go up north. Team Elsa, they go up north, and she is able to get past the fog into the enchanted forest. And while they're in there, they meet soldiers, Lieutenant Matthias, and then you meet also the Northundral people. And you meet all of them, and then they're like, oh, you started fighting first, and they're like, you started fighting first, and everything. And so then they all split off into their own little groups, okay? So let's real quick, so then Sven and Kristoff, they go off with Ryder. Elsa, she talks to Honeymaren for a hot minute, and she talks about this fifth spirit, because there's 4 spirits. There's earth, fire, wind, water, okay? And each one of them are represented by something. The wind is really just leaves all twirling around, and then the water is this water horse. The fire is this little fire lizard, or gecko, whatever he is, and then the earth is these big earth rock giants and everything. So then, and then Anna, she goes with Elsa, and they're going to go up north, because it talks about this. Their mother always sings this song about this river, and talks about this river. I can't remember the name of the river, but anyways, and it's up north and everything. So they go, and Elsa and Anna, they find the ship that their parents died in. And they do this throughout the entire movie. They do this weird thing with these ice sculpture things of memories, because there's this thing about how water carries memories, and so they make this memory, and you see that her parents did die in that shipwreck, because they went up north to find out why Elsa has powers. So then, and then those two split up and everything, and Anna and Olaf, sorry, Olaf went with them. Anna and Olaf get trapped in this cave and everything, and Elsa goes up north, and while Elsa is up north, she has this transformation. Well, she doesn't transform just yet. She transforms in everything. But then she figures out the truth. And the truth is that Ragnar started the fighting by killing the king, or the tribe leader of the Northundra people, and he built this dam, and all the elements were mad about the dam because it was slowing down the elemental nature structure thing or whatever. And then, so she finds it out, and she freezes into a statue like Anna did in the first one. Well, that kills Olaf. While they're in the cave, Olaf dies, and that's really sad. I was just like, while I was watching it, I was like, are my kids really bummed right now because Olaf just died? And, but don't worry, he comes back. Don't worry and everything. So then Anna's all sad, and then she ends up getting out of the thing and everything. She figures out her sister died or whatnot. So then and then Kristoff, he wants to propose. That's his whole storyline throughout the thing, and he does his own song called "Lost in the Woods" or "Alone in the Woods" or something like that. Okay, so then after that they realize. So Elsa sends the message to Anna, and the message is Renard, that's the king. Their grandfather built the dam. They need to destroy the dam, but if they do, it will destroy Arendelle with this big tidal wave. But Anna's like, we have to destroy the dam, no matter what. Arendelle will survive because their people will survive, kind of thing. So she goes, she gets Lieutenant Matthias, they get the big earth giants to throw boulders at the dam and everything, destroy the dam, creates this big tidal wave. Well, when that happens, Elsa, who is now the 5th spirit, which I'm going to get into that in just a second, she then rides the water horse all the way to Arendelle, freezes the big wall of water into this big snowflake, and saves Arendelle. And then she becomes the 5th spirit, and she's just a nomad, riding up north, back and forth, and everything, living with the Northundral people and all the other spirits. And then Anna becomes queen of Arendelle, and she does accept Kristoff's proposal, and he's going to become king, I guess. I don't know how all that works and everything. And then you find out that the reason she has her powers is because they built a bridge. This is a theoretical bridge of between their 2 children. Like Anna is the human side, the Arendelle side, and then Elsa is the northern side with the powers and everything. So now I just want to move on to the characters, and then I'll move on to the music, and then we'll talk about why I didn't like most of this movie. So Elsa. So let's get into Elsa. She's like, Elsa's awesome because she's got powers and everything. So she does her thing throughout the entire movie and everything, freezing stuff, fighting the elements and everything. But her whole thing is she's the 5th element, or the 5th spirit, and I'm all like, well, what is her element that all, because it's fire, earth, wind, water. What's yours? Ice? That's just water frozen. I mean, like, come on. And then she talks about a glacier, but I'm like, that's still just water. So are you the water spirit and everything? I mean, you do ride the water horse throughout the rest of the movie, but it's just so like it's not explained. One of the things and everything, and it's all over the place. So then you get Anna, and her whole thing is, and the line that I love the best is when she goes, when Elsa's like, don't follow me into fire, and she's like, if you don't want me to follow you into fire, don't run into fire. And it's in the trailers, and it's such a good line. I was like, kudos to you, because I mean, like, when a family member puts themselves in danger, you just want to help them. So Anna's all right throughout the whole thing. I'm glad that she didn't need Kristoff's help through any portion of it. She could do it on her own, and Elsa didn't need anybody's help. She could do it on her own and everything. So then you get to Kristoff, who basically had nothing to do this whole movie. I don't even know why he was in this movie. I don't know why he went up north. I mean, he did save Anna at one point in time when she was going to get crushed by an earth giant, but other than that, I'm like, he's useless. His whole story, his whole storyline was like, so useless. I mean, it was so dumb. And of course, Sven was there, but I mean, Sven was just, basically useless also. Like, besides saving Anna at that one moment, I don't know why these two were in the movie, as much as they were. So then Olaf was, of course, the comedy relief, and he was great as far as that goes. My favorite scene in the entire movie is when he's reenacting all the stuff that happened in the first movie for Lieutenant Matthias and the other Arendelle soldiers and the Northundral. And it made me laugh. It was funny and everything. So Olaf was great, but then, he died, but he did come back. He ends up coming back at the end. But other than that, it was just like, whatever and everything. So then we have Matthias, and then we have the Northundral people, and I'm just going to go put those together because besides the fact that they played such a small role in this movie, like literally, like I feel like since Lieutenant Matthias was black, very well voiced by Sterling K. Brown. I love Sterling K. Brown. He's so great. And then you have the Northundral people, which are Honeymare and Ryder, and then I can't remember the chiefess's name. And they were Native American. This was tokenism at its best. And I understand why they wanted to diversify the movie because the first movie is all white people. But give them something to do. I mean, Matthias, the only thing he did in this movie that was great, besides comic relief a little bit in there, was they started banging on their shields to get the rock giants to come towards them to destroy the dam. Other than that, they had nothing to do with the movie. Same thing with the Northundral people. It was ridiculous. So then, of course, I want to talk about real quick about Queen Aduna, which was voiced by Evan Rachel Wood, because they kind of made a big deal with her. She was in there, but it was nothing special. I mean, like, she had such a small part also, and like, it was fine, but it was like, whatever. Okay, so real quick, to talk about the music. The Lopez's, they wrote Let It Go for the first movie, and when they wrote that song, the studio changed the entire, it was like they were ready to do the movie, and they wrote this Let It Go song, and this is a famous song. They rewrote pretty much the whole movie to revolve around this Let It Go song. And the song is great. I love that song. It's so good. The problem with the Lopez's is I feel like they were a one-hit wonder. I don't feel like any music that they've done since then is all that great, and that counts this movie as well. Into the Unknown is pretty good. I do like that song. I also like Small World, but that wasn't in the movie, so I'm not going to talk about that one that much. As far as the rest of the songs go, they were either bad or mediocre at best. I mean, like, I didn't like any of them. I didn't like Olaf's song. I didn't like the song at the beginning. I don't know what the name of that song was, but Jesus, that song was awful. It was so, like, I was ready to leave then. I was like, if all the music is going to be like this and the movie's going to be like this, I don't want to watch any more of this. Thank God it got a tiny bit better, but it was still bad. I didn't like Kristoff's song. I did like the way they shot it. It was very like a 90s kind of video. I did like it because they had him. It kind of made me chuckle a little bit. But the music in this was so not that great. I mean, like, it was mediocre at best. At best. Into the Unknown was pretty good, but because the animation was good. But other than that, I was just like so bummed about the music in this movie. And the Lopez's, I really feel like they've shown that they're just kind of maybe a one-hit wonder. Maybe they can be a two-hit wonder, but it wasn't in this movie, I'll tell you that. So now I want to get into the real heart of why I don't like this movie. And that is, there's no villain in this movie. I mean, there's no villain. I mean, my wife brought up that King Renard, at the beginning, he was the villain. But I go, in the movie, he makes the comment, so he builds the dam because he wants to slow down or stop the flow of magic so he can control them and they won't, because he feels like if they don't fear him, then they'll just do whatever they want and everything. So and like Elsa says in the movie, you're doing this out of fear. It's not verbatim how that song's and everything, but, he does this action out of fear. And the thing that I don't like about this is saying he's the villain is because, okay, people in movies do plenty of things out of fear. You just got to give them time to realize that they made a mistake. And he doesn't get it because he dies in the beginning. And it's a bummer, but I just go, he's still not really a villain, okay? And I do think that heroes are defined by their villains. And Elsa and Anna don't have one. So I think that their whole definition is, I'm trying to save my sister, but you're saving your sister from what? Herself? I mean, come on. So this movie doesn't have a villain, which I find so problematic. I didn't think the first one had a villain either, but I'm not in the mood about arguing about that. But it's so not good, and this movie is all over the place. Like, the whole time you're just like, what are we doing here? I mean, you don't know what Elsa is as far as her element goes. It's all over the place. It's so infuriating. This movie's so bad. So, in conclusion, I was so bummed I didn't like this movie. I thought I would. I was excited to see it. I really was. I was so excited to see it, and it's not good. It's not good, you guys. I can't like it. I tried to make myself like it. I was like, you know what? Why don't I look at the positive things? The animation was done well. That Into the Unknown song was pretty good. I do like Elsa as a character. But at the end of the day, I was just like, I don't like it. I don't like it. So tell me, what did you guys think about this movie? What was your favorite part? I know you're mad at me. You're going to argue with me all day, every day. I won't argue with you. I'm happy that you like it. I really am. But I just didn't. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. I know there's a lot of them. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate that as well. And I will see you guys on the next movie review. Bye.